beautiful people. Hello, party people.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome and welcome back to Thrive Out Loud. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with me. It's always a pleasure sitting here, sharing a little bit of myself with you. So, you're back. First things first, house rules in here. We like, we comment, we subscribe, click on the bell notification, and tell a friend to tell another friend to bring on some popcorn because it is cozy in here. We know that by now, right? So, picking up from where we left off. If you haven't checked out the other story times I've done about this specific topic, I'd highly insist you catch up. I'll link them somewhere here. Or the description box down below. But I'd highly recommend that you catch up on at least the first 2 or 3, and then you'll be able to get a little bit of context. You get a little bit of context as to where we are today and what we're talking about. So, picking up from where we left off, I've now referred the matter to the CCMA, and it's tricky, it's vibey. I was fetched, I was told that I'm a traitor, I was called all sorts of names, I was told that I have now declared war, and I was basically, shown the door because I am fighting for my rights. So 2 days after referring the matter to the CCMA, it was decided that, we actually cannot trust you, and we think it would be better if you just,
take a bow.
So it was first week of August, and between you and I, as a content creator, the best possible punishment you can give me is free time. I'm just saying, but I'm guessing that was supposed to be my punishment. It was supposed to show me that, we really don't want you, we don't need you, you're useless, and you, whatever point it was supposed to bring across, I don't know. But the message I took from it, from the universe has big ears, the universe listens, and one thing I took from this whole entire situation is that it's been listening this whole entire time. The best possible thing you can do for me right now is give me time to myself, and time to my creativity, just time to let me be, just give me my time, my space, and untahil. But anyway, was I hurt? A little bit. I just felt like it could have been dealt with a little bit more humanity, because he didn't even tell me himself. He didn't come to me himself the way he'd been coming at me straight with his chest. He sent someone, and I just felt like this could have been communicated by email. You could have even dropped me a WhatsApp text, guys, because I had to drive the whole way from Vanderbilt Park to Rosebank early in the morning, only to get there, and one of my other colleagues was like, now we're told that we were not going to see you anymore. And that's obviously how I got the message to say, okay, so now I'm out, like proper out. So I had been packing my stuff, I think a couple of months before that. It's like I just had a feeling that something would go down. I had been starting to pack my things one by one. When you have a pot plant in the office and suddenly you just feel like it doesn't belong there anymore, take it from the office to home. And I used to have a table where I'd put like my diary and my phone on, but I'm like, this doesn't look like it belongs here anymore. So that's basically, how I ended up with not having to leave with a big box of my belongings on the last day. So then I left. What else can I do? And now I was free. And now comes the big question. What next? What do you do now? Because I still had like 2 weeks to go before the conciliation and arbitration hearing. So basically what happens at a conciliation hearing is that they sit the two parties down with what is that guy called? A commissioner, and he hears the story of party A, hears the story of party B, and tries to help you guys reach a settlement amicably, tries to help both parties see like where the other party's coming from, and help you guys both settle, help you guys reach some kind of a settlement. Some parties do settle while there's still a conciliation, but should it be that you guys are unable to reach a settlement after the conciliation hearing, you are immediately led to the arbitration hearing. Starts immediately after, same commissioner, and this is where you now basically produce your evidence and present your witnesses if you have any. This is where you state your case and you fight for your life. You're trying to fight for the life of your case, and you're trying to show that you stand by your point. So I would be trying to prove that I was unfairly dismissed, and he would be trying to prove that no, he didn't dismiss me unfairly, right? So this would now be 2 weeks from the point where I'm sent home. I went home, and it was honestly a weird period. I'm still in that weird period, but it was weirder then, especially before the hearing, than now. So now I had to start putting in the work to basically prepare for my case, prepare everything, prepare witnesses if any. But I felt like with the witnesses, it would put them in a bit of a difficult situation, because the witnesses I have are my former colleagues and they are still his employees. So it would just kind of be a weird situation. So I had to just prepare my evidence independent of witnesses. I wouldn't have witnesses. It would just basically be whatever evidence I have. There I was preparing this whole thing, and you know what? You know when they say it takes a village, they're not joking. You know, I got the assistance of the most amazing people who just refuse to watch me, you know, drowning in this, people that just refuse to see another people that just refuse to see a sister being put through a situation like this. You know, you get a person who randomly out of nowhere says, hey, how you doing? You know what, I have this HR specialist who can help you with ABCD, can I put you in contact with them? You get someone who says, hey, so I know a labor law practitioner who can do, you know what, it really does take a village. And it's during this period that I actually got to see that, you know what, you matter to people. You're not completely useless. You know, you matter to some people. So people are amazing. I know sometimes I tend to say people are trash, friends are nonsense. Yes, they're still trash, but you know, some people are amazing. And once you have kind of discovered who your people are, once you found your people, I'd say keep them close, because wow, I don't know what I would have done without like my little village, my circle of people. They are day ones, they're soul sisters, soul brothers, people that just kept me going throughout this whole entire time, kept me going, helped me with this fight, helped me prepare down to the very last day, right? So now the days are going on, and then so we're getting closer to the date of the hearing, the 19th of August, and I was pretty normal getting to that point because I was preparing, you know, with this team that I had kind of had. And, you know, the days were going by just fine up until the day before the hearing. That's when I just felt like, not my anxiety, just speaking too loud. It was way too loud for my liking. It was just crippling. I couldn't do anything. I just wanted to sleep all day. And in fact, it wasn't even just that day. It was the whole entire week. Now, the week of the 19th, from the Monday, I just felt this crippling fear. I just felt so anxious. I couldn't do anything. I didn't want to do anything. I'm normally, this happy chappy who's up and going. I want to do this and this and that. But that week, I didn't really want to do anything. I just felt I was tired all the time, and I didn't want to participate in anything at all, you know. And then Judgment Day came, the 19th of August. Judgment Day, D-Day. Now,
it's going down. Ziyakhala.
So my hearing was set for 11 o'clock, and it's set in Joburg. I live in the vault, set in Joburg, and it's like an hour and like 20 minutes tops. Hour and 20 minutes, depending on the traffic. So obviously drove on there, and by then I had prepared my evidence pack. I had prepared everything. I was ready. So I get there at around 10 o'clock, and I generally prefer being in places early so I can just be anxious from inside the building. It's fine. I'm there, and then trying to look around. I can't locate this guy. Heaven. Then 11 o'clock comes, and I was shown to the room where my hearing would be taking place, and I went there. And as soon as I got there, I saw the commissioner, greeted him, and he asked me where the other party was. And obviously, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? And then he says, can you call him in here?
No, I can't. We are at war. No.
And then, he says he will call him. And then he tried calling. He said he couldn't get through to him. And then he said, okay, wait 30 minutes. By law, we're required to wait 30 minutes just in case the other party is running late. And after 30 minutes elapsed, and then he called me, and we sat for our hearing. So because the other party wasn't there, we couldn't have a conciliation. We went straight to the arbitration, where they start off by hearing your evidence. You present your case. If you had any witnesses, you present your witnesses there. And you know what? I just felt like his absence more than anything made me feel a bit more relaxed. So that man is a fighter, guys. He fights to the T, and there's just something about his presence that just rubs me up the wrong way. So I feel like him not being there was the best thing that could have happened to anyone, right? So now I'm stating my case. I'm explaining what happened with all the dates that I had mentioned. And I come with receipts. I have our WhatsApp communications, I have our email communications, I have the letter that he sent me, I have the conversation that we were having on the day when I referred the matter to the CCMA. Like, I come with receipts. Like, I come with receipts. So then obviously that went on, and then it took about an hour or so. And at the end of it, then the commissioner said, okay, I'll be giving my ruling within 14 days. And the 14 days include weekends and public holidays as well. And please note that just because the other party isn't here does not mean the ruling, will be in your favor by default. I'm still going to give an impartial ruling based on the evidence given. I'm like, okay, no problem. And then he said, okay, you can go home. And then, okay, went home. And I just remember feeling a sense of relief on the day, like more than anything, without even knowing what the ruling would be, without even knowing like what the story would be, like I just remember feeling just the sense of relief, like I could breathe, because I fought as much as I can. It doesn't get any better than this. Maybe it does. Maybe I could have come with some hotshot lawyer, but I don't have that kind of money. So I just felt like, for me personally, I did my part, and whatever they choose to do with the evidence and the information they have is completely up to them. The honest is completely up to them, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I felt like, okay, my part here is done. Whatever happens from here is out of my hands, right? And then he told me I would hear back from him within 14 days. Now we start counting. So the 14th day is supposed to land me somewhere around the 2nd or 3rd of September, because he said it also includes weekends. So now I'm expecting 2nd of September I'll be getting my answer to say what's the story. How? Then out of the blue, a week later, out of the blue, I'm sitting, I'm minding my own. I'm just, a random Friday, chilled vibes, no stress anywhere. Here comes an SMS. Who is the sender? The CCMA. CCMA. It's only been a week. I'm like, hey, surely here. Yeah. Something's not going right. Only 1 week. These people are fast, man. These people are bloody fast. So I said a little prayer before opening it, just so my heart doesn't sink to my butt again, because by now my heart is doing so much gymnastics. So I opened the SMS, and on the screen it's like, okay, here's the reference number. The CCMA has now ruled in favor of the employee in the case, this girl versus that guy. And oh my goodness, I could have screamed like before. And then it says, we'll send you the award. So basically they're gonna send you the document where they state out what the award is, because there's an award. So one thing I skipped about during the CCMA, when you refer a company to the CCMA, they normally ask you what outcome you're looking for. So there's 3 options in the CCMA. It's either reinstatement, where you are given your job back and we pretend like this never happened. They stop doing their nonsense. Then they stop dismissing people unfairly. Like, you get your job back untainted, like nothing ever happened. Or there's a re-employment. That's now the second option, re-employment. And this basically means you get your job back, but you have the option of being in a different branch or different department, just so that maybe you don't deal with the same party. This is normally used in cases where there was sexual harassment or harassment involved, and you just feel like you cannot work with this person, specific person anymore. The third option, this finger's wrong. Third option is compensation. This is where you're saying, you know what, the working relationship has completely broken down, and excuse me, I cannot work with these people anymore, like whatsoever. And unfortunately, that's where I'm at. They kicked me out like a dog. At what point do I go back there? I'm like, no, option three, meneer. So now back to the day when now I received the good news that no, we've ruled in your favor. And then I went to my emails, and here is a nice big document waiting for me, and it's basically stating out how the proceedings went, like from the very beginning to the very end, to say, you know, this is what was presented, this is what we found, and therefore this is the award that this girl deserves. So basically, at the end of everything, the CCMA ruled that my former employer has to pay me 6 months worth of my salary in cash a month from the day it was awarded. So by end of September, then he has to basically pay that, and then the case has been closed. The case is closed, and they're just going to wait for enforcement if he doesn't follow through with it. But that's basically how this long short story played out. So if you are a person who finds themselves in a bit of a muddy, buttery situation like I was, where you feel like you're unfairly dismissed, or where you feel like there's unfair labor practices, where you feel like labor-wise something is not right, conte off, I would highly recommend that you get the advice of at least a labor law practitioner, if not a general legal advisor like a lawyer, and just get a second or third opinion. Get someone to look into your case and someone who can assist you further. So as I said, I made use of the legal leaders team. Aslam Mullah and his team were amazing, and I will put their details down in the description below. It's not sponsored, believe me, I cannot stop raving about their services because they were so amazing. So that's it from this series about legal matters and being a boss babe and being fired and so thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Thrive Out Loud. As always, it is such a pleasure sitting here sharing a bit of myself with you. Just a reminder about the house rules. In here, we like, we comment, we subscribe, we click on the bell notification, and we tell a friend to tell another friend to bring on some popcorn, because obvious, by now we know most. So please interact with the content. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to know more about. Let me know what sticks out the most to you, so I know what it is that you like hearing about. And that way you and I, maybe we can become friends, and you never know how these things go. So do interact, leave a comment here and there, slide on the DMs if you must. I am all for it. Till better days, beautiful people. Bye.